There were only a few people left alive. Rena, Satoko, and myself. Yeah, Rika supposedly, apparently, got off-screen defeated in this battle. Presumably, Rena and Satoko were fighting fiercely. Were they evenly matched? No, Satoko was pushing her hard. Moving fast, she was driving Rena into a corner. Rena was usually gentle and slow, but today she was different. She was very serious today, yet Satoko was still overwhelming her. She's a tough customer even without her tricky traps.
Oh, you remember threatening me earlier. Suppose you were just bluffing. You move well, and I'm still going to win.
Satoko kept moving around, piling on pressure in order to pin Rena down. She kept shooting, so her tank must have almost been empty, but her shots were still sharp and fast. I noticed the bucket near her feet, which was full of many water guns. I understood, seeing that she had been taking guns from others who were already out of the game. In this battle, reloading bullets of water was more crucial than the actual shooting. The hole that you put water into on these guns is rather small. To put water through it from a faucet takes time and requires a certain amount of skill. In a battle like this, it would be almost suicidal. I understand that well, so I'd been taking guns from the people I defeated, but I could only hold one in each hand. Satoko used a bucket to overcome the limits. Smart thinking. Rena looked like she had only one water gun. I'd assumed she had two earlier, but she must have used a lot of water during her long battle with Satoko. You know what? Here's a thought here. What if you had some form of shields in this game? I don't know, just like... think of something here. Well, just think of somebody who could use a shield. Would that be allowed? Just like, if the water hits that but not you, does it count as a miss? Because if that's the case, you just pick up stuff to use as a shield. Just like, ha, ha, ha. Of course, it has to be big enough to shield pretty much any part of your body that the water hits. Because if it's like really small and it just lightly grazes your arm or something like that, then it still counts, you know. You'd be out. They should try and save her water for the right moment, but with Satoko's fears attacks, it was obvious that this was only a matter of time before Rena was driven into the corner. However, Rena is also quite skilled. She only pretended to be driven into a corner, but she was actually luring Satoko to a place where she'd have the advantage. It was a narrow, twisting path near the gymnasium warehouse behind the school building. With Rena's water levels running low, she'd want to turn things around with a single close-range shot. That narrow path was the perfect place for her to do that. Rena, the zoom!
What's wrong? You're slowing down a little. Getting tired.
Satoko, dramatic zoom.
Oh, I appreciate your concern, but I'm not tired at all. I think you should worry more about your own remaining water. You haven't shot back at me for a while. Your tank is empty, I suppose. Think so? Why don't you stop hiding and show your face? Oh, pass. I'm aware you've been holding on to your last shot. One shot is all I need. It'll be nice to shoot you in the forehead. You don't want to get your clothes wet after all. Ho ho ho! I never imagined I could have such a thrilling battle with you, Red-san. However, with the amount of water you have remaining, I doubt you have enough pressure to make that last shot go far.
Satoko was right about that. Rena had just enough water to make one last shot. As the amount of water left in the tank dwindles, the range of shots you can make shortens. That makes the last shot the shortest and weakest of them all. Regardless of her absolutely disadvantageous situation, Rena didn't look frustrated. I could tell she had no intention to lose. It was almost like she didn't even see Satoko as a threat.
You picked a perfect location for yourself, did you not? I have to tread cautiously.
Satoko seemed to understand how dangerous Rena's last shot was going to be better than I did, since she was the one actually fighting against her.
I don't play chess very often, but I believe this kind of situation in school is stalemate, is it not?
Satoko took out another gun with a full tank and shortened the distance between them, slowly and carefully. A gun with a full tank doesn't only have a long range, it also has enough power to make shots more accurate. If they shot each other in a frontal attack, Satoko would have a 99% chance to win. Even so, Satoko was still afraid of Rena's last shot. Satoko shortened the distance even further, smiling as if unafraid, but could tell she was actually full of fear. Satoko compared the situation to chess earlier, but it wasn't exactly the same. In chess, you can use some pieces to drive the opponent's king into a corner, but in this case, there were only Rena and Satoko. You can lose some of your pieces in order to achieve a win, but Satoko doesn't have any pieces other than herself. A king can't drive the other king into a corner alone. That's called a stalemate. That's why, while at first glance it looks like Satoko has the absolute advantage, they're actually on equal footing.
Let us finish it. It's not like us to wait for the bell to bring an end to this battle. You're right, let's do this.
That's strange. I thought Rena wouldn't have to move just on a dare from Satoko. What kind of plan did she have? Rena had been hiding behind cover for a while, but she came out without hesitation. I noticed something right away. Rena had a different gun. Satoko seemed to notice it as well.
I had a plan to hide here when my water ran low. I hid a gun in advance.
Damn, she's good. In using a trap at the last moment for a come-from-behind victory, it was as though she was taking Satoko's best skill from her and firing it right back. Satoko no longer had any advantages now that both of them were pointing their guns at each other with full tanks. But she still looked confident. What was going on? Did she have some kind of plan too?
That gun you're holding right now is very important to me. What do you mean? You would have kept waiting for your perfect shot and wouldn't have come out of hiding if you didn't have that gun.
At that moment, some lightning ran through my brain and I instantly understood the situation. Of course! I was in a disadvantageous situation earlier, but it was actually the same for Satoko, since she didn't have a chance to make her shot while Rena was in hiding. Rena had remained cautious in order to hit with her last shot, and that made it difficult for Satoko to attack her. However, what if Rena didn't need to take the last shot for a come-from-behind victory? No, I said it wrong. What if Rena got a new gun with a full tank? She'd stop hiding and come out to fight against Satoko.
You see, I knew from the beginning that you'd run over here in order to obtain that gun.
Let Satoko talk crap, Rena. You don't have to listen to her, just shoot her right now. Rena thought the same thing. She shot at Satoko without any hesitation. But she frowned in confusion a moment after. What was going on? She couldn't shoot. Was her water gun broken? Or did somebody break it?
Then you know that you can easily break a water gun by putting a little bit of sand in an empty tank and pulling the trigger several times. Ho 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 ho! You knew I was hiding my trump card here and you pulled a cheap trick like that, huh?
Well, you wouldn't put her past Satoko.
I told you! You only get one small trap at the last moment. I mean, that's the beauty of traps.
When it comes to traps, Satoko remained a notch above Rena after all. I couldn't believe Satoko figured out Rena's plan in advance and set a trap to counter it. She's got so many traps that's like if she was a duelist, played Yu-Gi-Oh!, she would specialize in trap cards and she'd be a master at it. Rena, you made a big mistake. You should have kept the old gun with you. You could have at least made that last shot. I was just thinking in my head, just like, what kind of deck would each character have? And just like, instantly off the top of my head, just like, Satoko would obviously specialize in trap cards, and Rena would have cute cards, essentially. Just like, because it looks cute, rather than just like being practical. But she'd probably still have some tough not Pokemon, what am I thinking of? Monster cards and all that, but they'd be cute cards. And even the magic and trap cards would have a cute image on them. It'd all be cute focused. But then what about the other characters? Mion would have like the I don't know, can't think of one from Mion, Keiichi and Rika off the top of my head, but yeah, be interesting, wouldn't it? But it's too late now for you to pick it up again. Rena was in a worse situation than she was before. She couldn't even take another shot.
Be prepared. You told me earlier that you'd shoot me in the forehead, did you not? Well, I will be at least kind enough to do you the same favor.
Satoko slowly narrowed the distance again and pointed the muzzle at Rena's forehead. Rena still didn't look like she'd given up. She still thought the game was undecided.
Satoko-chan, you're not as good as you think you are. What do you say? You got me with your trap. It'd be your right as the winner to allow yourself the room to breathe and smile like you're doing right now.
Yeah, she is kind of being a bit careless, isn't she?
But all you've done is drive me into a tough spot. You haven't killed me yet. Don't you think it's a little too early for you to act like you've already got me?
Like Satoko is pulling the old classic villain role where you just like talk a lot of crap and then just like think you've got the battle won, so you stall for time and then you make a big mistake.
I thought you were going to say something much scarier than that. Makes no difference because I'm going to get you right now. If I were you, I'd just shoot rather than keep talking. You know why? Because if I didn't, I'd lose. Lose? Are you talking about me? I highly doubt you can fight with a jammed water gun. Do you remember the rule? You're hit when it's water from a water gun. Huh, so what do you say?
When I heard her saying that, I started running. My target was Rena. Satoko was already dead to me. Why? She was going to be shot by Rena within the second.
I have absolutely no idea what you're referring to, Ren-san. What do you think you can do with a jammed water gun? As long as I have water in my gun, I can still fight. Don't you get it yet?
Rena raised her broken water gun up high and smashed its handle on the wall of the school building as hard as she could. The plastic broke easily and water flowed out of it.
As long as the water from the gun hits you, you're dead. It doesn't matter where the water comes out.
Rena was right, she just saved herself by thinking it through. If she was using a real gun, bullets would only come out from one end of the gun. But this was a water gun. She could make her bullets, water in this case, come out from any place, not just the barrel of the gun.
What?
Satoko finally realized that she was standing defensively in front of Rena. Satoko's trap was successful, but she overestimated its effect. She should have just shot Rena without hesitation before Rena noticed her new water gun was jammed. She was going to fail because she had grown overconfident of her victory. A second before Satoko pulled the trigger, Rena swung her water gun as if slashing Satoko with a sword. Satoko fired her bullets, but it was too late. A second before Rena would be shot down, a blade of water hit Satoko in the face. No, not hit. It cut her face open.
Your endgame wasn't good enough. I can't believe I lost.
Rena ran towards Satoko, who was standing still in shock, and took her water gun. Rena knew I was her last target and that I was running towards her. Rena! Rena, using her superior mobility, began to duck and weave. We were evenly matched. Neither of us neglected to make any effort possible to take advantage of the situation.
I knew it'd end up being a one-on-one battle with you. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me.
I'm seeing you in a new light today. I didn't know you had the guts.
Rather than a new light, I'd like you to see me in a romantic way.
I can try if you let me win. In a romantic way, she says. That's the thing of these novels, isn't it? It's clear as day, you know, that both Mion and Rena have kind of a crush on Keiichi in their own ways. But Keiichi, being, you know, a standard male protagonist, is oblivious. I wonder if it's the same thing, like, with female protagonists. I wonder if it's a similar thing there. It's like, with the female characters oblivious to, like, characters that are interested in her kind of thing. Because that seems a common trait in novels like these. I mean, this one doesn't even have any romance kind of thing, you know, but they still have that in background kind of thing, you know. No thanks. Oh wait, that was probably Ren actually.
No thanks. We decided around, circled around the construction equipment, tried to taste off each other. We were both sweating like crazy, but I didn't feel tired. Big drops of sweat tickled as they ran down my body. Just be careful, Keiichi. If they get in your eyes, you'll be blinded temporarily. Don't you hate that when you get sweat and it gets in your eyes? It's like Rapid bursts of water flew across both of our paths. Neither of us had the advantage or disadvantage. It's been nearly an entire hour again. I told you, man, this is a long scene, even without my rambling. I didn't feel elated that I might win or frustrated that I might lose. I was just enjoying this battle with Rena. Zooms! It was like a dance. A dance that I couldn't dance alone. A dance that I could only dance with an opponent. Rena sure is sharp when she gets serious. It's giving me chills. Keiichi-san's good too. He's evenly matched with her. I can't tell who's going to win. So that's just like Rika's just like, yeah, I lost, but you didn't see it. In fact, none of the observers could tell who was going to win. Neither could we. We had no idea who was going to win. We had no idea when this battle would end. I didn't know why, but it was great fun to just fight against Rena, and I didn't even care whether I won or lost. In fact, I never even wanted it to end. As we fired at each other, both of our tanks emptied, shortening our range. Inevitably, it became more and more like a melee than a gun battle. We fired our water guns as if trying to cut each other with blades of water, swing the gun like a sword. We both came up with the idea to swing the gun hard to generate the boss. Centrifugal force. Am I pronouncing that right? In order to increase the range of our attacks. I dived, ducked a shot. I rolled on the ground and landed on my feet. I ducked a shot again and swung my gun like a sword. Who could have imagined that our club's water gun battle would turn into one-on-one close combat like this? Absolutely nobody, except me, because I already read it. Oh, you think so too, Rena? You too, Keiichi-kun. We're both breathing hard, calculating the timing needed to take the closest step. And then we both grinned wickedly at each other. It's so fun, I don't want it to ever end. Don't hate me if you lose. No, never. I'd hate myself for ending this game, but I know I won't be the one crying in the end. I don't know about that. Your feet are getting weak, like they're made of straw. Shut up! Zooms rah! Wow, they both look so cool. I want to go! Rika-san, you can get him! That's another thing. Her last name, Ryugu. Sometimes 2 U's, and 2 U's there. Sometimes 2 U's there and 1 U there. Like when I do the tags, I just write it as Ryugu. It's just like, you got 2 U's and 1 U at the end there. I don't know which one is correct. It's kind of inconsistencies there, you know. Sometimes it doesn't have the extra U, sometimes it does. It's like Fuku from Planet. She has the same thing with her name. It's like, is it 2 U's or 1 U? And sometimes you have it where it's just like you have that little bit above the U kind of thing, you know, and that kind of, you don't need to put the 2 U's, you just put that thing, I don't know what it's called, on top of it. And it's like, that counts. I don't know, it's confusing. I became relaxed enough to enjoy the battle and finally realized that many of our classmates were watching our one-on-one fights. I barely had any water left. I would have to make the next shot count or I was done for. Seemed like Rena was in the same situation too. Dramatic zooms. Next shot will decide it. Wish we could fill up our tanks to keep doing this forever. Dramatic zoom! Some people enjoy things because they end eventually. Flowers are beautiful, especially because they wither. I see. That's one way to look at it. It's been fun fighting against you. This is it. Indeed. Sorry, but I'm going to end this battle. Good luck, Keiichi-kun. Don't cry when you lose. Let's do this. Hell yeah! Ah! Wow. Which one of them won?
The cries of the cicadas echoed in the quiet schoolyard. They sounded like the hand of a watch ticking away the seconds. Neither of us moved. We took our final shots and now stood motionless. It looked like one of those duels in Western movies.
Who hit the other first? I don't know, I couldn't see it.
Our classmates broke silent first. They finally realized that our intensely beautiful one-on-one battle was over.
Class president, what is your decision?
Mion in turn realized that she had to deliver a verdict to end the game. But she was just as stunned as the others, and it took her a moment to recover. Mion was taking time to render her verdict. In fact, Ren and I didn't know who won either. My left shot flew fast and splashed sideways as if a blade had cut her chest. I knew that for sure, but at the same moment Ren's shot hit me in the shoulder. Whoever shot the other first wins, but we didn't know if it was me or her. That's why we stood motionless waiting for the verdict to be delivered.
Did you see Rika? I can't tell. Class press, who won?
Everybody held their breath waiting for Mion to call it. Ren and I kept staring at each other. The spectators were the only ones who were interested in who the winner was. To us it wasn't that important. We had a great battle. We had both really wanted to do better than the other. We both wanted to call it a tie. For this great battle, settling for a tie would be the best and most proper option. In other words, this one-on-one fight wasn't a battle to decide the winner. It seems like everybody's thinking the same way.
Me?
Yeah.
They can't move if you don't deliver a verdict.
Yeah. Mion hates to settle for a tie because she loves to draw a line between superiors and inferiors. She tends to settle for a tie when deciding who is the loser because it's more fun to have as many people as possible to suffer the punishment, but she's never settled for a tie between winners before. Mion holds a special feeling towards the meaning of being number one. Everybody continued holding their breath, awaiting her verdict. Please make it a tie. Everybody wished for that in their hearts. Mion was hesitating to make the decision. She could have chosen a winner more easily if one of us did even a little bit better than the other. But even if one of us did a little bit better than the other, I feel like nothing fits better than settling for a tie.
The two of you did
great today. Mion finally started speaking.
Keiichi and Rena, you showed us significant spirit and skill today. The explosive power you showed us was so beautiful that it's beyond even the highest praise I can ever give. It's very difficult for me to decide who's the winner should be after watching such an amazing battle. Then you mean we have two winners?
I don't like to have two winners. That's not really the point of our club.
However, they were both so good that it's very hard for me to decide who was better. So, I'm going to call it a tie for today, and they'll have another battle some other time to decide the winner.
I expected she might settle for a tie, but I never thought she'd make us have another battle.
Higurashi, you were awesome! You were so cool! You gave me chills! It was like, you set our hearts on fire!
The classmates rushed towards us in praises for showing them something that cool.
Rena and I were finally released from the tension of battle and dropped to our knees, and then grazed their knees because look at that ground. And, I mean, they're wearing, like, the gym kind of clothes as well, so that's, like, exposed knees.
Too bad we tied.
Yeah, I can't wait for our next battle.
Can you give me your hand?
Of course. I was going to ask you the same thing. That right there, like, seems like there should be a CG art, isn't it? And there probably is in one of the other versions. But this is the original version, with different art style compared to the original, but it's the original still, We both smiled at each other. It was the first time we ever hit it off like this. Who's saying what? Just read it like By the way,
You're pretty good at that.
I couldn't tell who was saying what line.
What do you mean? Michan, you're trying to get away without suffering the punishment, aren't you?
She's just trying to sound cool, but the main reason she did that video was to protect herself. It's so like Mion, you know? Look! She's running away. Looks like my guess was right. She's so obvious. The bell rang, a sign that class was over while we all laughed at Mion. After that...
Good job out there, you two. Here, use this towel.
Rika-chan held out a towel, a big smile on her face. Whoever in the eyes stepped back and pointed our water guns at her.
Me, I was already shot many times. I told everybody I was already hit, but nobody believes me.
It's like, that's what Rika is just like. They underestimate her, but they're not taking chances here. Nobody saw Rika get hit. So it's just like, how do we know you didn't just purposely stuck yourself in water to pretend you've been shot multiple times so that you could sneak up on us at the end? That's her kind of craftiness. Rika-chan was soaking wet. Well, nobody believed her because she really could be that sneaky, but then that she was hit in order to stay in the game.
It's your own fault that nobody believes you. Sometimes it's hard to believe anything you say. Me, everybody's so mean to me. I feel lonely. I'm lonely like a poor kitten crying in a cardboard box because nobody wants her. Meep meep.
She's like the Roadrunner. Boom! The sound came from Rena's head. I saw a circle of smoke coming out of it. Rena must have pictured Rika-chan meowing like a cat in a cardboard box.
Oh! Rika-chan is an abandoned kitten. I'm taking her home with me. Ouch! Meep meep.
And boom! Rena, you're ruining how cool we looked earlier. Rena was back to her normal self and jumped on Rika-chan like a chameleon capturing its prey. Rika-chan struggles to get away. Come on everybody, get back to your classroom now. Chie-sensei clapped her hands and yelled at us from the window of the teacher's office. Let's go! Everybody exchanged smiles and ran back to the classroom. And we never got to find out whether Rika was lying or not. Presumably she wasn't, because they would have made an extra little scene for that. Just like, oh, your epic battle, a beautiful day, new tips. And we don't get the achievement because already got it in the previous one. 109 minutes, I've been recording longer than that. Let me just test something out here. Save. Still says 109 minutes. Okay, now 3 hours. 3 hours. And no card drops either. What's up with that? Is it not updated to have that yet or what? I don't know. Whatever. I will see you next time, viewers. For the unknown. Because beyond this point, I can't really remember. Because, like, that was as far as I recorded in the previous recording. So, yeah. Now it's going to be all, you know, new to me. Except not really, because I read the novels years ago. But whatever. I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.